Salmon, by the way, in season from May through September, so that's when scientists suggest you order it.
One of the most popular Halloween events this weekend for teenagers and young adults will be held in Tacoma.
Thousands are expected to attend FreakNight. It's a two-day dance music festival. Brandy is joining us this morning. This event in the past has raised some serious health concerns and safety concerns.
Yeah, and we know that drug use at FreakNight has been a problem for years. In 2013, Seattle police went undercover inside the rave and made massive drug busts. Then last year, more than a dozen attendees needed emergency medical attention. One died after overdosing on ecstasy. Now, under pressure, the promoter is acknowledging the role that drugs play in the event and is taking a step it's never taken before. Every Halloween, FreakNight invites concert goers into a world of make-believe, a world that should be more fun than frightening, but over the years has turned into a real-life nightmare for some.
We feel that we've done everything we can. We can get away having no violent crimes and no overdoses. That's a win for us.
In the last decade, FreakNight has made headlines with concert goers overdosing on drugs. Last year, FreakNight was cut short after 20-year-old Aaron Oldman died from overdosing on ecstasy. Does USC Events acknowledge that there is drug use taking place inside FreakNight?
We think with this audience of 18 to 24, which is our core audience, and it goes up to the high 20s and early 30s, that drug use is a part of their lifestyle. And to say otherwise would not be acknowledging the issues that we have to acknowledge.
Alex Fryer is a spokesperson for USC Events, the promoter of FreakNight and other electronic dance music concerts where young adults have lost their lives.
And just like a piece of me has died.
Heather's son, Bo Brooks, died this summer after overdosing on ecstasy at Paradiso, an EDM concert at the Gorge Amphitheater, co-promoted by USC Events. People have died at your events.
Well, I think what the public wants to know, what moms and dads want to know, is are you acknowledging that there are some ways that you can make these events safer, and are you taking actions to make that happen?
It's why this year, USC Events will do something it's never done before. They'll allow volunteers from Stay Safe Seattle inside FreakNight for the very first time.
We have these drug cards.
Volunteers like Amber will set up a booth just like this one, giving concert goers information on drugs like ecstasy, allowing them to make an informed decision about whether to take it. What would you say to people who think that this is condoning the use of drugs?
We are merely acknowledging the truth that no matter how much security you put in, people are going to get drugs into an event. The best way to keep people from ending up dead is giving them the education and the information to make educated choices for themselves.
It's a controversial approach to drug use, to say the least, but USC Events says it's willing to try it if it could save lives.
Our main concern is making sure that everyone who comes has a great time, goes home safely. That's it. That's the bottom line.
Explain to me what this is going to be here when it's set up.
Well, this is all part of the Halloween event experience. So.
Despite a troubled decade in Seattle, Tacoma and the Tacoma Dome have agreed to host FreakNight this year for the very first time. They're hoping those who attend will take responsibility for their own actions.
Like with any other Halloween message that a parent would give a child of any age, don't accept anything from strangers, be safe yourself and be aware.
Take care of each other and act responsibly. That it is vitally important that people understand the choices that they make will not only impact themselves, but their friends, their families, and the electronic dance music community that they love.
Now, more than 12,000 people are expected to attend each day of FreakNight, which runs Friday and Saturday. USC Events says it will have 200 security personnel on site each night, along with 20 medics from Tacoma Fire, more than 80 volunteers trained in first aid, and you will be thoroughly searched as you walk inside. So if you're planning on sneaking anything in, probably not a good idea. They're going to be checking your pockets, checking your shoes, just like if you went through an airport. And I did bring one of these cards, if you get a close-up of that, one of these ecstasy cards that kids can get inside. On the back it says, what is ecstasy? What are the effects of ecstasy? What is the dosage of ecstasy that's appropriate? So you can see why something like this would be controversial and why people could say, well, isn't that condoning the use of drugs or acknowledging that people are using drugs inside? They say they just want people to be armed with information if they're going to do it anyway.
You had a chance to speak with the family of the young man who died at FreakNight last year. What are their feelings about this event as this approaches this year?
I did. I spent a long time last night speaking to Jason and Janet Altman. Their son Aaron died at FreakNight last year. Obviously, they're incredibly devastated still. They're angry. This is going to be a very difficult weekend for them. But they're, and I said angry more than anything because they really feel like, although they acknowledge that their son Aaron took ecstasy and that is the ultimate cause of his death, they feel like there's a pattern at these events of an unsafe environment. These are the third parents of kids who have died at an event either promoted or co-promoted at USC that I've spoken to personally. And they feel like we've gotten to a point where we should realize as a society that these kids aren't going to not do these drugs, that they're doing them, it's happening. So what is the way that we should be addressing it? Should we allow an event to continue where there are some inherent serious safety concerns and they feel like no one else is being held accountable for the unsafe environment that exists?
And despite that, there's going to be thousands and thousands of kids down there doing that this weekend.
Yeah, so keep these things in mind for
All right,
sure.
Brandy, thank you. 7:36 right